Hi guys, welcome to my channel KP Financial and Strategy Review. Myself Praveen Kumar. In today's video, we'll discuss about balance sheet. What do you mean by this, and why it is important, and what is the purpose, and who are the audience and the parties who are interested in this balance sheet, and what they will do with this, and how to prepare, and what are the guidelines, and what are the checklist, how to ensure that the balance sheet is clear, complete, and accurate as per the applicable accounting standards or guidelines or regulatory compliances either by US GAAP or IFRS or Ind AS or whatever may be. We'll discuss in a short summary. Before proceeding further, I request each and everyone to watch the previous video wherein I have discussed about P&L items, income statement. There we have done horizontal analysis as well as vertical analysis. What do you mean by P&L? Each and everything we have discussed in short summary. Please watch the previous video to have a complete knowledge. Coming to balance sheet point of view, as I explained, there are 5 statements. One is income statement, number 2 balance sheet, number 3 cash flow statement, and number 4 statement of changes in the shareholders equity, and a statement of other comprehensive income along with notes to accounts. These are the 5 statements, financial statements, and this is the second financial document that is called as a balance sheet. The name itself is called as a balance sheet. Balance sheet means there is balancing. What we are balancing? Here balancing assets, liabilities with equity. Always the balance sheet will work on one basic accounting equation, that is assets equal to liabilities plus owner's equity. This is always should match. It will match. If it's not matching, there is some error in the formula or somewhere in the report. We need to cross check and plug it. And whenever it is matching, it doesn't mean that it is clear, complete, and accurate. We can believe as per the guideline. Doesn't mean that. Why? Because accounting is based on double entry system. For each and every debit, there will be an equal, opposite, equal credit. Same like Newton principle. For each and every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. In a similar way, balance sheet also will follow. Accounting is also based on the same principle. Assets equal to liabilities plus equity. So it should match. It will match. And if you see the manner of the preparing, and it will be prepared, assets is nothing but, here we will see what do you mean assets, liabilities and equity. Assets is nothing but whatever the company has been owned, whatever the company has been controlling, that is called as an assets. And no, liability is nothing but whatever we owe to the outsiders creditor, that is called as a liability. Equity is nothing but whatever is retained, whatever is received, whatever is minus whatever is paid, and whatever is left out, that is called as a owner's equity. This includes whatever the amount invested by the shareholders in terms of share capital, plus whatever has been further addition made during the period, plus profits or loss what has been accumulated during this period. And why they will do all this? And who are the parties who are interested in this balance sheet? Generally, prima facie, there will be 3 parties who are interested in this balance sheet. Number 1 is company's management and board. They are interested in order to ensure that what is the value of the business as of today, what is the business value, what is the company's net worth as of today, how much of assets we have, and how much of liabilities we owe outsiders, what is the net worth as of today, in order to ensure that, and as well as in order to ensure further, are we successful or not, are we moving towards success or not, are we failing or not, are we moving towards direction, are we achieving our vision, mission, goals and objectives or not, as whether our strategies are working or not. Each and everything can be represented through balance sheet numbers in terms of financial value. I am saying only from financial value point of view. So management and the board, they will review with different perspective. And if you see from the bankers and the financial institutions or investors point of view, they will view it in a different perspective. They will view whether they can lend or not. If they lend, what is the financial stability of this company, whether they are in a position to repay to or not in the future, what is the cash position, what is the liquidity, what is the assets, and what is the existing liabilities, whether they can repay to or not to us in the future, whether how much they are secured or not. The creditors and the bankers will see from that perspective. So management and board has seen from the different perspective, and the creditors and as well as outsiders have seen it from the different perspective. And if you see from the shareholders point of view, shareholders will view it in a different way. They will view whether they can make investment or not, whether already they made investment they can increase or not, or whether they want to go for divestment or not, whether they have to liquidate or not, or they need to take the dividends and liquidate or not, or they need to reinvest the same amount of profits without dividends and go for further growth and or not, whether they can go for further investments or not in this company. Each and everything they will see in that perspective. So investors will see the balance sheet with a different perspective. Bankers and the financial institutions will see it from a different perspective. Management and the board will see it from a different perspective. So the single document will view in a different angle with a different perspective, but the same document will provide the answers for all these 3 questions. And that is the beauty of this balance sheet. And if you see from the entire balance sheet components, there will be assets, there will be liability, there will be equity. Assets will be further segregated into current and non-current, and liabilities also current and non-current, and balance will be equity. What will be current? Anything which is going to be paid, or anything which is going to be received, or which is going to be realized within a period of 12 months on date of balance sheet, or within the operating cycle of the cycle of the company, then that is called as a current. Otherwise, it's called as a non-current. Examples of non-current will be land, building, patents, copyrights, trademarks, goodwill, or motorcycles, etc. Plant and machinery. Each and everything will be furnitures. Each and everything will be generally non-current, called as a fixed assets. And current is nothing but like cash, bank balance, marketable securities, short-term investments, short-term advances given, inventories, inventory for the products, and as well as accounts receivable, prepaid expenses, and as well as advance paid to the creditors and the suppliers. Each and everything will come under current. This is the general language. Either you follow IFRS or US GAAP, whatever, this is the method. And how it will be prepared? Generally, it will be prepared for assets. It will be prepared in the manner of liquidity, more liquid to less liquid, and in liability they will prepare in the order of maturity. That going to be mature very soon, very more likely within a period of 2 months. That will be first, and thereafter will be the next item. And now coming to checklist. In previous video, I have given the 10 top items for the checklist for the P&L. As long as you ensure that your P&L is clear and accurate and complete as per the applicable guidelines. In the same way for balance sheet, I am giving you top 20 checklist. As long as you ensure that the 20 checklists are followed, it means that prima facie the books of accounts can be closed with which are clear, complete and accurate as per the applicable guidelines of IFRS, US GAAP, whatever maybe. What are those checklists? Just I will give the gist of this so that you can understand. Number 1, if you see from fixed assets point of view. From fixed assets point of view, see the value in the balance sheet. Always the entire function will be, we will take the balance in the balance sheet and we will cross check this balance with 3-4 different sources. And in the 3 different sources, we will recalculate and recheck whether those numbers are correct or not. But because in order to ensure whatever the number is presented on the face of the balance sheet as a net value, that is correct, complete or not, we need to do certain reconfirmation as well as recalculations and retesting. And that is nothing but this step 11, step 2, step 3, step 4. That is called level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4 checking. And if you see from fixed assets point of view, take fixed asset register. In that fixed asset register, see opening balance, closing balance, additions made during the period and disposals made during the period. If disposals made during the period, whether it's a profit or loss. How do you know profit or loss? Comparing with the WDB value as on the particular date. What are the profit or loss? It will show. And see location wise, job equal wise, cost center wise we can see. And if you see from, and further I am not discussing about impairment as well as fair market value recognition. Why? Because impairment and fair market value, that's a different concept, it's an advanced level of concept. We'll discuss in a short summary in the next videos. And now coming to inventory point of view. In the inventory, take the balance in the balance sheet and check with 11 1, 11 2, 3, 4 checks. What is level 1 check? Check with inventory listing. In the inventory listing, product wise it will be there, like what is the value of the inventory, like in terms of spades, consumables, chemicals, WIP, work in progress, or finished goods, category wise, product wise, line item wise it will show. And that is second level. Third level will be check with movement register. What do you mean by movement register here? Take opening balance of inventory plus purchases made during the period minus consumed or issued for the production or wastages during the period, and the balance is the closed stock. How do you know opening balance? Opening balance take from the previous balance sheet, and purchases made during the period take from the purchase register, and minus issued for the production, you can take a production register as well as consumption register or movement register. And the closing balance should match with listing, and that listing should match with, so here balance sheet item should match with notes to accounts, that notes to account should match with the listing, that listing should match with reconciliation. So there are 3-4 levels of checking. As long as the 4 levels are matching, then everything is clear and complete. And the face of the balance sheet and notes to account you will see only from the value point of view. But if you see from the listing and as well as reconciliation, check from the quantity and as well as rate point of view. From quantity point of view, you can take confirmation from the physical stock or whatever is done, physical verification by the stores team or consultant, you can take from there also. And check with the book stock also. Flow stock to book stock you can compare. And if you see from the rate point of view, the rate should be either moving average price or weighted average price as per the entity, as per the applicable guidelines. And how do you know the rate? The rate also follow the same guidelines. Why? Because the inventory will be valued at cost and addressable value as per whichever is lower, and that is as per the applicable guidelines in the US GAAP or IFRS. Why they are doing cost and net realizable value, whichever is lower? That is a conservative basis of accounting principle we are following. And say, how do you know cost and net realizable value? From where you can get cost? We can get from the Cox report, and you can tag that with the finished goods valuation report. The same it should match with inventory valuation report and as well as inventory listing report and the reconciliation report also it will match. This is from cost point of view. If you see from net realizable value, from where you can get this? Why? Because this is stock as of now it's not sold. How do you know? Well, because in the subsequent period this item, if it's sold, you can randomly check what is the which has been sold or not. If it's sold, what is the sales value? We are not seeing only the sales value or sales quantity, we are seeing the sale price exactly here. What do you mean by sale price? Here we will see the sale price per unit what has been sold. Why? Because we will compare the cost price per unit with the sale price per unit. Why? Because valuation will be cost and net realizable value whichever is lower. Clear? And next comes to AR. In terms of AR, take the AR balance and compare with AR listing. AR listing will be, because in the balance sheet that will be total value. That compare with the AR listing. AR listing will be customer wise, and thereafter compare with the aging. Aging will be bucket wise, and thereafter compare with reconciliation. What do you mean by reconciliation here? Sales AR reconciliation. Sales AR reconciliation, nothing but take opening AR. That opening balance you can take from the last year balance sheet or opening balance sheet, plus sales made during the period, cash and credit, minus whatever the cash received during the period, cash and credit, and the balance of the closing stock. And here, in terms of opening balance, you take it from the opening balance sheet, plus sales made during the period you can take from the sales register, and minus cash received during the period you can take from the cash book register as well as receipt register you can take. So there are, you need to plug 3-4 different reports, and you need to match all this, and the closing balance should match with the notes to accounts and as well as the item value in the face of the balance sheet. This is the total crux of the subject. And if you see from the AR point of view, you can go for aging, and if you go for aging reconciliation, so furthermore check, you can take customer balance confirmation from the customers, you can cross check. When you cross check, it will match. If not matching, doesn't mean that there's something fraud has happened, someone has eaten this money of the customer, doesn't mean like that. Don't assume each and everything fraud has happened, something has happened. Just see whether there could be possibility for pending errors or pending reconciliations. Why? Because when we comparing with AR and AR, there could be some items or checks, some are not deposited, even the deposited that is not yet realized, even though it's realized in the entry books, in the books it's not yet paid, that could be in the BRS open items. So all this we need to check. We need not to doubt each and every item whenever it is not matching. We need to understand the reason why it is not matching. So always there will be reconciliation. If you do reconciliation properly, it will match. Now come to bank balance. From bank balance point of view, see the bank balance, see with notes to account, and see with bank statement. Furthermore, check with bank confirmation report from the bank. Ask a request for the bank confirmation from the bank. There it will show, tag that balance with bank statement, tag that with notes to account, tag that with the face of the balance sheet. In the similar way for cash, petty cash, also petty cash reconciliation, stock count do, and as well as match with that. Now come from liabilities point of view. If you see from liabilities point of view, first will be non-liability, but the example will be loan, higher loans and as well as non-current liabilities which are going to be paid over more than 12 months. Then we can take the non-current liabilities. Take from GANs, take your schedule and match with bank confirmation report. It will match. If not matching, see the reason for not matching and post that pending it is, it will match. And sometimes pending can be from your side, sometimes the pending can be for update from the bank side also. You inform to the bank, they will update. If it is pending from your side, inform to your team, they will update. So everything is cross check and reconciliation, it will match. If not matching, we have to write down the reason for that. And as well as you need to check 3-4 levels and alternative sources to check whether everything is clear, complete, or acute or not as evidence. And from payables point of view, take opening payables, see, take the balance in the balance sheet, tag with notes to accounts, tag with AP listing, accounts payable listing, tag with vendor listing, bucket wise, and tag with movement listing of accounts payable. For inventory, how we have done reconciliation, same way we have done for AR, and the same way we will do for AP. In AP also, take opening balance of payables plus purchases made during the year from purchase register, and opening balance we can take from the last year balance sheet or opening balance sheet, minus paid during the period you can take from the bank statement and as well as cash book register or BRS also we can see that, and as well as the balance of the closing stock. The closing balance sheet will match, it should match. If not matching, there is some reports are pending or some entries are not posted, or even the entries are posted that is not flowing properly as per the requirement, that we need to check. there could be possibility that some JV entries are passed, some on-time entries are passed, some direct entries are passed without touching accounts payable, purchase register route or PO route, something else. Then we need to understand why it is not matching with the TB balances. There could be certain entries directly posted in the TB which is not going to affect the AP module or AR module also. Then we need to drill down and check why it is not matching. If through VLOOKUP or XLOOKUP or whatever the lookup you follow, it will get. Hope you understood the crux of the subject. Stay tuned. I will be posting series of videos very shortly. If you like the video, please subscribe, like and share in your network so that it will reach the relevant people. I will be posting series videos of very shortly. Thank you very much.